Ian, and it is the 28th of February 2019. So this is actually something that I'm working on for our uh, new affiliate marketing coaching program. You can see that below. There's still a couple availabilities left. It starts on March 5th. But I want to show you something that I think is really, really interesting for those of you who are really struggling to launch something on a bootstrap budget, right? So you have no money and you're just trying to launch a business without really much funding at all. So one of the things I've been exploring with some of my clients over the last couple of weeks, some of them are building directories and are using Pinterest really successfully in some cool and creative ways. So I started. This is not really an area that I have a lot of experience or expertise. I've certainly used Pinterest in the past for some outsourcing work and things like that, but I clearly haven't done it all that well. So one of the things that I did over the last couple of days in putting out these new products for our Mindful Marketplace community is I put a couple things up on Gumroad and started to track and just started to really heavily promote them on Pinterest. Not paid ads, but just doing some cool and creative things with Pinterest to drive traffic to these individual offers. So as you can see, this is a brand new account, January 30th, 2019. There's no activity until Wednesday, yesterday, the 27th, 220 views, 4 sales. Today, 512 views, 5 sales. Now that is, and it's the 28th, which is today. The interesting thing is, it's a brand new everything, right? And here are the analytics from inside the account, right? So you have the traffic is emanating, the highest percentage of referrals, which is interesting, is Google 333 visits as of 1:33 p.m. on the 28th, which is when I'm recording this. And then the second is Gumroad themselves, which has led to 2 conversions, 23 referrals. But what's really interesting is Pinterest turns out to be second to Google, the by far most highest level of referrals, 5 conversions, 2.1%. This is all, it took like literally 30 minutes. I'm no artist and I'm no sort of professional pinner. I did this myself, right? I just created a bunch of pins. I used a specific process map. And, it's in the last 2 days driven 242 visits, of which has led to 5 conversions. Also, it's interesting to see that some of these other geographical subdomains of Pinterest, .es, .sc, za.pinterest, I mean, they're not generating much, but 5, 7, I mean, that's just those 2 things have come close to the Yahoo or those 3 geographical subdomains of Pinterest are almost as much as all of Yahoo, right? So, I don't know. I mean, there's probably something really interesting here to build on, and I'm excited actually about using Pinterest as to really expand this process. I wouldn't do it myself. I would simply outsource this. But, if you can spend a slow afternoon just creating pins and you're promoting products on your store and you do it in a very skillful and smart way, I really think that, that you can get a lot of instant traction for building your brand. Now, I want to say one other last thing. One of the things that you can do if you're building a directory is a couple things. One, you can create very specific boards in, let's say, either your locality, like your town, pizza restaurants, florists, auto repair, whatever it is, and then get hyper granular in terms of how you save those. I mean, I found that to be really, really effective for some clients of mine. That's not what I'm doing, but they've had some tremendous success. And 2, I forget what 2 is going to be actually. I know what I was going to say. So one of the things that I've been doing is you copy the text right? So if you're on a page on your directory, let's say, and you highlight the text itself, and then you use the pin bar here, which you can see up here, right? So you're going to pin that, you're going to post that pin, but the highlighted text gets pinned as well. So it gives the visual imagery a lot of content and context. And I have found that really, really dramatically affects both the amount of views as well as ultimately the click-through rate. And I think, really ultimately it will have a dramatic effect to the good on Google traffic to those pins, which obviously is our ultimate aim. All right, so I hope that helps a little bit. I get a lot of questions from people who have no money, zero anything, and they want to launch something. They want to get traffic, right? And they ask me, like, what do I do with like no budget? And up until now, I usually have to struggle to really give them this long, laborious sort of unfolding process to follow. But something like Pinterest with $0 invested, as you can see, just in the last couple of days, that ain't bad. And who knows where ultimately this will end up. I'm actually looking forward to outsourcing this to somebody and having someone really working on this in a full-time way. Now, if you want to sign up for the one-on-one co-creation, I'm going to say this badly, so I'm just going to skip it. Just look below. There's a whole offer there for those of you who really want high-level training with me. This is what I do best, and there are still spots available for a March 5th launch. All right, you can sign up for that below. If you don't, just follow this instead. I'll probably do a little mini course on this process, so that'll be available sometime soon, I hope. All right, thanks so much, and have a wonderful day.